Hi, it's Ariel with Auto City in El Cajon, San Diego's award-winning used car dealership. This is a 2013 Mercedes-Benz SLK 250, and it is of my opinion that this happens to be one of the most beautiful cars we have right here on the lot. This is, of course, not a wildly unpopular opinion, but besides the prestigious badge that this little roadster wears, its low-slung frame, long bonnet, wide rear haunches, and classic Mercedes-Benz design cues make it a sight to behold. Now, unfortunately, not every car on the lot can be this pretty. In fact, some of them are just downright ugly. Sometimes car makers just miss the mark. Either they try too hard or they didn't try hard enough. Either way, these ugly cars need love too, and just because something looks like a giant driving insect doesn't mean it can't get you from point A to point B reliably, which is why a great many of these ugly some-bees end up right here at Auto City. So let's show some of these ugly cars some love, shall we? Without any further ado, here are, in my opinion, which does not reflect that of the company Auto City, here are the 5 ugliest cars we currently have on the lot. Auto City. What makes a car beautiful? And by the same token, ugly. What makes a car ugly? It's funny how throughout the history of the car, we've personified them to a point where they're almost living things, an extension of our families, a pet, or in some more depraved cases, a life partner, a great love. These are inanimate objects that we name, we write songs about, we replace the pronoun it with she. These mechanical beings are built with curves and faces. There's a phenomenon called pareidolia, where humans recognize faces in inanimate objects. Cars are probably the most prominent of these objects in which pareidolia occurs. And just like human beings, when all the proportions line up perfectly, it creates beauty. When we see a classic Corvette, we recognize its feminine curves. Funny enough, the curves on a Corvette are said to represent that of a Coke bottle rather than Marilyn Monroe. Still, on the rare occasion the elusive Jaguar E-Type whizzes by you, or a Citroen DS saunters her way past, your heart skips a beat. The same as it would had you been passed on the street by ScarJo or Brad Pitt. Or in my case, Susan Sarandon. Okay, so what about ugly? When we see a Ford Pinto or a Pontiac Aztek, we think a face only a mother could love. Who did you murder in your past life to be so ugly in this one? Is it also about proportions, lines, balance? What is it? As much as it mystifies me that I find so much beauty in certain cars, how is it that I'm so offended by the ghastly looks of others? By the way, this is not based on price or status. Brand loyalty does not come into play when it comes to true aesthetic admiration.
Bangle.
I love BMWs, but
Bangle.
there are some tremendously ugly ones.
Bangle.
And some really pretty Hondas. I've always thought the Accord was perfectly proportionate, thereby handsome. So this list, which does not include the Hyundai Veloster because we currently don't have one on the lot, is based purely on looks and design choices. Odd choices the designers made for one reason or another. Starting with number 5 in the next video.